Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our NBA video for Friday, November 25th. Hope you guys had a good day. Hope you guys stuffed your faces, spent time with family, watched some football, bet money on football, and won money on football. I still got games going on right now, especially on Superdraft. I had Derek Carr earlier. Right now, the only person I have left is Knox. So I'm doing pretty well in Superdraft. So just waiting for the game to end to see how much damage I've done. But I'm doing really well on Superdraft. Draftkings, everybody has Swift. He got hurt, so that didn't really hurt too much. And I have Pollard also in my Superdraft lineup. Pollard's a beast. But we're not here to talk about football right now. We're here to talk about this 11-game slate. So, you know what we do with these 11-game slates. We dissect it piece by piece and pull out our core. So, it's going to be a little bit of a video, since I like to break it down in detail. So go grab your Hennessy or whatever it is you like to drink. Go grab some pumpkin pie and let's get through this together. Obviously, you've been here before. We're going to start with Draftkings, and we're going to start with point guard. Curry at 11.4. That's a good price. That's a good price because Curry's going to play 35 minutes. Curry's a 1.33 fantasy point per minute player. And if this game is close, you know what he's capable of doing. 11.4 is a high price, but it's a good price. If you get enough value, you should play Curry. I'm looking for him and Lillard to go back and forth. Westbrook versus Sacramento with LeBron and AD on the court. Westbrook could be a 3 fantasy point per minute player. He's still not for me today. 11,000 is too rich for my blood. I have to pass. LeBron James, 10.5. He's feeling some sort of way. He gets into these moods where, when he feels like, people overlook him, he starts going crazy. He started that in Indiana. LeBron James is in play at 10.5. LaMelo is always in play, especially against Minnesota. There'll be no defense in this game. I've learned in my lifetime to never doubt James. Even though LaMelo may seem like the better play, I don't think we should be fading LeBron James right now when he's playing the way he's playing. So just keep that in mind. I know it's a big three. I know we got AD, but just keep LeBron James in your player pool. And if you get value, I'd play him. Lillard, 9.8, starting to get back into his rhythm. Lillard is going to give you 38 minutes in a close game. This year he's a 1.07 point per minute player. Not as high as last year, but he's still viable. At 9.8, he wouldn't be my first pick. He is in my player pool. However, I'm sure there's better plays than Lillard right now, but he's in the player pool. Ja Morant at Atlanta at 9.6 is an amazing spot. Ja's going to give you 35 minutes. Ja Morant is a 1.30 point per minute player, fantasy point per minute player this year. I have him projected for about 50 fantasy points. That's my baseline projection minimum. So he's a great play. Right now, out of everybody that I've touched, if I had to play one person, it would be Ja against Atlanta. 9,600, very good spot. You're looking for about 48 fantasy points. I have him projected for about 50. If everything goes right, Ja's an amazing play. Right next to him, you got Murray against Boston, 9,400. He's averaging the same fantasy point per minute on Draftkings as Morant. I got Murray for 35 minutes. He's a 1.29 fantasy point per minute player. I have one projected for the same thing as Morant. So when you got two players that's almost equal across the board in fantasy points and salary and the fantasy point per minute, then you want to look to matchup. Ja's in a better matchup. So Ja edges out Murray just because of the matchup. Trae Young against Memphis, 9,300. He's not doing what he was doing last year, but 9,300 is a very reachable salary. I'm looking for Trae Young and Morant to go at each other. That's what you're hoping for. You're looking for a close game, and you're looking for your horses to do what they do. Averaging 45.7 fantasy points per game. Memphis is going to provide them with no defense. These point guards are going to be able to do whatever they want. I got Trae Young, 35 minutes. I got him projected for 35 minutes. He's a 1.25 fantasy point per minute player. I have him projected for about 47 fantasy points. He's a great play. These last three, Morant, Murray, and Trae Young, these are amazing plays. And I can promise you, they're going to be highly owned in most contests. In the contest with the whales and the experts, these three guys are going to be highly owned. Remember I said that. Beal, OKC, 9,000, good price. Booker, 8,500. Team's on like a 12-game winning streak. At 8,500, he is playable. I don't like Booker. I don't like playing Booker because Chris Paul always has the ball in his hand and he gets all the peripherals. But at 8,500, Booker is digestible. Damien Mitchell against New Orleans. He's going to do whatever he wants to do. 8,400, averaging 40 fantasy points. Damien Mitchell is in the player pool. He's absolutely viable. And that the salary is the best part of his package right now. Chris Paul, his prices are going down, 8,300. You could even pair Chris Paul with Booker because they're so cheap. But the two horses of Phoenix in the 13-game winning streak, these guys are viable. People overlook Paul, Mitchell, Booker, Beal, and there's no real explanation for overlooking them. Because we have to play people with higher salaries, more flamboyant players, or we play people at lesser salaries that are value. But let me tell you something about value, especially in Detroit and Orlando. Those cheap players that I keep warning you about are the reasons people don't win. You can't play Wendell Carter, Mo Bamba, Suggs, Jeremy Grant, Christian Wood. You can't play them all the time, because guess what happens? The team isn't good. What happens when teams aren't good? They get blown out. What happens when you get blown out? You don't play a full run. What good is the value price if they don't play their 4 minutes? Listen, boys and girls, I'm not here to just give you plays for a slate. I'm here to enlighten you on how to understand this. This is what we're doing. I'm not taking you to the fishing pond to pick up salmon. I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm teaching you how to do it from scratch. I'm teaching you what you need to know. I'm teaching you how to look at a slate and be like, okay, this is where I'm going to start from, and this is where I'm going to go. This is why I take my time to explain it. So I want you to remember that when you hear me breaking down these slates. Everything is done for a reason. Who's next? Van Fleet. I've been sleeping on Van Fleet. Don't like playing him with Siakam and Anunoby. However, they don't affect him. He produces. He plays at a high level. And let me tell you exactly what he's doing. Van Fleet is, if I could find him, Van Fleet is going to play 37 minutes. He's projected for 37 minutes. He's a 1.07 fantasy point per minute player. And I have him projected for about 42 fantasy points. He's a great play. Should I give this out? McCollum, 7,900. McCollum is always a good play, but you know what happens with him next to Lillard. If Lillard gets hot, McCollum might as well just go sit on the bench. So they're playing the Warriors. The Warriors are going to beat them. By how much is the question. I would play McCollum tomorrow because they're going to need all the firepower they can get. $7,900, averaging 36 fantasy points per game. I have him projected for 37 minutes. This year, he's only at a .97 fantasy point per minute player. I have him projected for about 37 fantasy points, which he averages. He's an okay play. Not going to jump out the window and force him in my lineup, but he's a decent play if he goes with what you're trying to do. If you're trying to game stat Portland, he's fine. If you guys hear any noise, that's probably my neighbors, and I don't know what's wrong with them, but just ignore them. I apologize for that. If you hear them acting wild outside, they should be in their bed. I don't know what these people think this is. Anyway, boy, look at our guy De'Aaron Fox. He was supposed to be the future of the NBA. Where is he now? 7,700 on Draftkings. Listen, everybody rises to the occasion. Everyone rises to the occasion when they're playing the Lakers. I'm looking for Fox to have a great game. If we want to know what Fox has been doing this year, I'll tell you. He's averaging 33 minutes, 1.04 fantasy point per minute. He's projected for about 35 fantasy points, exactly what he's averaging. So, 7,700. I have his base projections at 35. That means that it could be over that. It could be way over that because, the Lakers give up everything. De'Aaron Fox is a very good play. He's a first-tier play today. Understand what I'm saying? De'Aaron Fox against the Lakers is a first-tier play today. Okay? Okay. Cole Anthony. If Cole Anthony's playing tomorrow and they're playing Chicago, Caruso's going to stick him, and he's not going to be able to do what he wants to do. Cole Anthony's a pass just because of the matchup. Brogdon in play. If you pick up Brogdon for 7,500, I'll bring it back with Van Fleet. this game is going to be close. Russell, always in play, 7,400. Good play, very good play. You can stack him with Cat, or you can stack him with my guy. We'll get to that when we get there. Jordan Poole, I don't really know what's going on with Jordan Poole. Let's see what he's been doing. Oh, he's been playing better. So since the 16, he's had a 43, a 45, and a 32. I'll say if Jordan Poole is on a hot streak, ride the wave while he's hot before he gets cold again, because we absolutely don't want any parts of him when he's cold. Paying 7,100 for him. Just had to close my window. See, my neighbors can't even let me live. They gotta be outside making pure noise on Thanksgiving, whatever. Where were we? Jordan Poole. All right. Jordan Poole is in play because he seems to have his marbles back. Dinwiddie against OKC. He's in play, but with Bill and Kuzma, I don't want any parts of it. At $7,000, you're gonna need 35 fantasy points just to talk. That's not gonna cut it. NBA is much sharper this year. You got to be a lot sharper. You can't go in there playing who you want to play and think you're gonna win. All these contests have people that know what they're doing. You got to be ahead of the curve. So, just letting you know. Drew Holiday, have played him once this year. He let me down. With Giannis going crazy these last few games, I really haven't been looking to play Drew Holiday. His last game was well. This is what you need from Drew Holiday if you're going to play him at 6,800. 43 fantasy points, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block. I don't think we're even getting 8 rebounds from him normally. He's in the player pool, but he's like a last man in type person. If Jokic is playing, the game should be a little bit close. You get his full rotations. He's viable. Lonzo's viable, but I don't know. It seems like two out of the 3 go off in Chicago, and not all 3 at the same time, usually. So I don't want to be on the outside looking in. 21, 28, 10, and 41. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's inconsistency. 21, 28, 10, and 41 fantasy points. I can't pay $6,800 for a player that might give me 10 fantasy points. You see what I'm saying? Schroeder versus San Antonio. They play no defense. Good play, 6,600. If Brown is in, I'm not playing him. Not for me. You're better off playing Rozier at $6,000. The average, you're talking about fantasy points per game average, about 1. Because this is about a 30 and this is a 1.2. You're talking about a 1.3 difference. That $600 that you're paying for Schroeder, that you're going to save playing Rozier, you can use that for something else. Rozier is very much in play. Halliburton against the Lakers, in play. You know what I say, when especially guards against the Lakers, they're very much in play. $6,000, averaging 29.4 fantasy points. He's a top tier play. He's gonna get his blocks and steals, his peripherals. He's definitely in play. Devontae Graham against Utah. You got Valanciunas. You got Ingram. Josh Hart is like an auxiliary player. He does what needs to be done. $6,000. I still like Halliburton and Rozier better in that price range, but Graham is, he's not a bum. Never mind, yes he is. 26, 20, 18, and 15. We're passing on Devontae Graham. RJ Barrett. Mike Conley hasn't been playable this year. Caris LeVert's not playable. Marcus Smart not playable. If Brown is back. Derek White. I don't know what's going on with him. Let me see something. Mike Conley, 22, 21, 37, and 28. He's another inconsistent guy. You can't pay money for somebody that you don't know what they're going to do. So, obviously a GPP play. Obviously a big chance, but that's not something I want to take. Suggs against Chicago. Okay. Caruso at 5,200. You're going to be the fifth scoring option behind Levine, DeRozan, Vucevic, Ball, and then Caruso, and you're $5,000. Pat Bev is out. Clarkson, 5,000 off the bench. I'm good. Kemba Walker, share minutes with Rose. I'm good. RJ Hampton get a cleanup duty because his team sucks. I'm good. Monte Morris. I'm not playing him. He's like the fourth option. I'm good. I don't really like playing third and fourth options for, over $4,500. Like, if I'm going to pay for a fourth or fifth option, you got to be like minimum of like 35, 36, 4,000 minimum. If you're $4,500 and you're a fourth or fifth option, you're taking up space. You guys, if you want to play him, you can play him, but I'm not playing a guy, Monte Morris. Monte Morris, $4,700. 24, 19, 16, and 20. So what happens if you play him at $4,700 and he gives you a 16? Guess what? Close your phone and go to bed because it's over. Listen to you. I will never set you wrong. All right. Where were we? Monte Morris. Bogdanovich. All right. Listen. Anything under Monte Morris is dumpster diving. Let's move on to shooting guard. Okay, we went through LaMelo. Jaylen Brown is questionable. 9,200. I don't know if I'm going to play him at 9,200. If there's no minutes limits, we could talk about it, but I don't know what's going on with him. Not going to waste my time. We covered Beal. We covered Levine, Booker, Mitchell, Van Fleet, Ingram against Utah. I don't really like to be scared off of a matchup with Ingram. He does a little bit of everything. $8,000 isn't the worst. No, he's coming off of an injury. 39, 21, 24, 39. I do trust Ingram. I do trust him. He's viable. He's in the player pool. He's not going to be my first option, but he's definitely in my player pool. McCollum we spoke about. Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is so. Let's watch this. Follow me here. Anthony Edwards is averaging 40.8 Draftkings fantasy points per game. He's averaging 0.2 more than Van Fleet. He's averaging 0.7 more than Mitchell. He's averaging 0.3 more than Beal. He's averaging, what did I say, 40? 3 point something more than Jaylen Brown. And he's $1,500 less. Anthony Edwards is a lock against Charlotte. Anthony Edwards is a lock against Charlotte at $7,500. You need me to break it down more for you? But I will. First of all, no, hold on. Let me break this all the way down for you. You'll take 37.50 fantasy points from him. You'll take that. You want 45 fantasy points from him. He's averaging almost 4 points less than that. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Anthony Edwards. He's averaging 36 minutes a game in close games. He's a 1.17 fantasy point per minute player. And I have him projected, baseline projection. I have him projected for about 46 fantasy points. That's baseline projection. Anthony Edwards in a close game is a lock. I'm moving on. We did Booker, we did Russell. Wiggins is too pricey for me. You got Kyrie with the ball, Poole with the ball, Draymond handles the ball. I'm not paying $7,400 for Wiggins. Barton is a good price. Milwaukee should be a good game, tight game. Will Barton is in play as a second option and as someone that has the ball in his hands. As a playmaker and a scorer, Will Barton is in play at $7,200. We spoke about Poole, Schroeder, Giddey with no SGA is definitely in play. He's like second tier to me. His scoring isn't the greatest. I know he gets his peripherals, which is amazing for a rookie, but he's not gonna 35, 32, 40, and 38 fantasy points. You're paying $6,500, so this is what you want from him. But like the 14 to 15 to 15 points, I really, really, really want to see that come up before I start committing $6,500 to a rookie. But he's a good play. He's a good play. And he is taking a shot. So you know what? I do trust him. If he fits into what I'm trying to do in my lineup, he's in play. He is in play. We spoke about Rozier. We spoke about Halliburton. Gary Trent has been doing amazing. I'm scared of playing with all those guys on his team, but he still comes through. 42, 33, 15, another 36. Look, let me just say this. The numbers say on that team, the numbers say he's a good play. His production says he's a good play. Until we see otherwise, play him. He's in the pool. Buddy Hield against the Lakers, he's in play. I don't usually play Buddy Hield. Everybody gets up to play LeBron. Everybody. Buddy Hield will have a good game tomorrow. $5,800. You're looking for about 30 fantasy points. Against the Lakers, he's going to hit a lot of threes, and he's going to definitely get there. LeVert? No. Bane, $5,500. Yes, against Atlanta. He's in play. Starting shooting guard for Memphis. $5,500. You're looking for about 27 fantasy points. He's definitely in play. Grayson Allen, he's okay as the last man in, but with Drew Middleton, Giannis playing, now you got Bobby Portis. $5,200 is too rich for my blood for Grayson Allen. THT, no. Suggs, no. Dort, $5,200. I love this because of his stocks. He's gonna shoot. He's gonna do a little bit of everything, and he's gonna play defense. So Lou Dort is in the pool. I will be playing him at some contest. I'll be playing him. So Dort is playable. Clarkson, last man in type thing. He could get hot, and when you was late, you see him do it. So can't completely turn your back on him. Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is a starting small forward for a team that won 13 games in a row. He's in play. What I mean by that is that he's on a team that wins. He's a starter. That means that he's going to get opportunity. He's going to play minutes. He's going to get opportunity for rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, and points. That's what that means. RJ Hampton, like I said, cleanup duty. He might as well be a janitor because his job is to come in when Orlando shits the bed and finish the game for them when everybody else is benched. Bogdanovich, not for me. Fournier, not for me. Alec Burks, he does what he needs to do off the bench. But in an 11-game slate, I don't know. He's the last man in type player. I trust him. You got to trust your players. I can't make you trust somebody. I can tell you what they're projected to do and what's the probability of them doing it successfully. But playing DFS is about trust. You got to be able to trust your players. You got to be able to set your lineup and feel good about it. Win, lose, or draw. I trust Burks because when I play him, he comes in off the bench and makes the most out of the minutes that he gets. That's what you're looking for in a value player. Cheap salary, limited time, high upside. That's what a value player is. Malik Monk, he'll be amazing if they get blown out of bench, which could happen. But I don't see that happening. LeBron is in one of his moods. He's tired of losing. He's being overlooked. His team is being called trash because they are trash right now. LeBron is going to play hard, inspire the rest of the team to play hard. Should be a close game. Kobe White, no. Kelly Oubre, last man in type thing against Minnesota. That should be a shootout. And everybody else is dumpster diving. Listen, I know the video is a little bit long, but we're breaking this down correctly and making sure we understand why we're doing what we're doing. If you're new here, this is what we do. We break down NBA slates. I'm not going to give you a whole speech. Please subscribe, hit the bell, please thumbs up the video, let YouTube know that you enjoy it. That helps me out. We'll continue with our small forwards. LeBron James is in play at 10.5. We went through that already. Tatum at 10,000. He looks good. I will play him if Brown is not playing. I'm not playing either if both are playing. Levine, 8,700. Price looks like it's coming back up, as it should. He's at this amazing price. Sometimes DeRozan takes away from his productivity. I'm noticing that. I'm going to fall back from Levine, but he's still in the pool. Ingram we spoke about. Mikal Bridges. This looks like an amazing matchup for Bridges. Run and gun. If you're going to play Bridges, play LaMelo. I think they're going to be just running and dunking all night long. 7,800. Averaging 40 fantasy points. Absolutely in play. Top tier play. My man Miles Bridges. Middleton, he's okay, but with Giannis going crazy, he's not going to be able to pay off the $7,500. The probability of that is not high. And on an 11-game slate, we could find better plays. Wiggins we spoke about. Anunoby, 7,400. He's my guy, but with Siakam back, it's only one ball. What you gonna do? Barton, I like Barton because of the matchup. They're gonna need 38 minutes out of him tomorrow. Gordon Hayward, he's hit or miss. I don't play players I can't trust. He is a good play, but I don't know what he's going to do. $45, $32, $30, and 11. Exactly my point. He could give you 42 fantasy points for 11. Hey, if you want to play him, enjoy, but not for me. Scotty Barnes, he's a secondary play for me. Decent price, high upside. Gets peripherals. He's going to play, low, high, mid-30s and minutes. This is the type of play you're looking for. Aaron Gordon with Jokic and Barton, I'll pass. Kuzma, with everybody healthy at 6,500, I'll pass. Josh Giddey, in this whole price range, looks the best. Listen, I'm done seeing point guard, shooting guard, small forward. Giddey is the best in that price range so far. Harrison Barnes, he's questionable. If he plays, he's good as a last man in. He's not as hot as he was when the season first started. And that's fine. The price came out with him. He's still viable, just not to a certain degree. 19, 39, 21, 18 of the last 4 games. I'm gonna have to pass. R.J. Barrett, Dillon Brooks, 5,900. Play. Absolutely in play. 5,900. You're looking for 30 fantasy points from Dillon Brooks against Atlanta. This game should be competitive. Josh Hart, 5,600. His price is going up. Last man in type situation. He's viable because he does a little bit of everything. Went through these guys already. Norman Powell, 5,100. Norman Powell. Lillard is coming back into some type of normal activities. Powell isn't as mesmerizing as he was. 26, 21, 30, and 30. Norman Powell, 5,100. You'll take 30 fantasy points because of the matchup against Golden State. This should be a fast-paced, high-scoring game. I do like Powell. He's in play. Last man in, secondary play. You need value. Powell's going to be at value. We spoke about Bridges. Okay. Nope. Kyle Herter. Kyle Herter's in play. As long as he starts for Hunter. $4,600. Going to play 20 minutes in play. Kevin Herter's in play. Alec Burks is in play. We went through that. Jeff Green. No. Franz Wagner against Chicago. No. Listen, if Franz Wagner was free, I wouldn't play him against Chicago. And the rest of it is trash. Power forward. Giannis, 12-2. Giannis is going to play 33 minutes. That's another thing. Giannis averages about 34 minutes per game at this 12-2 salary. $12,200 salary. You're only playing 34 minutes. But he's a 1.55 fantasy point per minute player. I think that's the highest in the NBA. That means that you're getting 1.55 fantasy points per minute as long as he's out there. He's a good play. He's always a good play, but he takes up space. Until we get more value, I would have to pass. Until we get more value, I'm going to have to pass. AD against Sacramento. You're looking for 55 fantasy points. About 53, 54. Man, you got the three amigos in LA. But who is going to stop Anthony Davis? Rich Holmes? AD's in play. AD and LeBron is in play tomorrow, to be honest with you. Westbrook will have to take a back seat, but AD and LeBron should dominate tomorrow. AD is a first tier play for me, as the price is okay. I love the matchup. I wish, Westbrook or LeBron wasn't playing, but Healthy AD, this is nothing for him. Healthy AD should be $1,100. Randall, I'm not going to pay 10K for Randall when AD is $700 more. That's not happening. These are two different tiers of players. It's Giannis, AD, and it's everybody else. You can't be separated by $700. Tatum, we spoke about him. DeRozan at 9,000 is an amazing play. Bamba and Carter might be the power forward and the center. DeRozan is an undersized power forward, and they still wouldn't be able to stop DeRozan. I'm looking for him to have his way with them. Definitely a first tier play for me. Sabonis, 8,800 against Toronto. Good play. I'd rather play Siakam for $500 less. Miles Bridges, still looking good, 7,800. Al Horford, 7,600. He's looking good. Everybody does well against San Antonio. John Collins, 7,300 against Memphis. Like I said, that game should be competitive. He's definitely in play. If I play Collins, I would want to play him with Trae Young also. Either game stat on one side, you get a point guard and a big, or game stat, the point guard and the shooting guard, or the point guard from one team against the point guard or shooting guard from the other team. If that game goes into overtime or it stays close, in the fourth quarter, all you're going to do is be collecting fantasy points. Okay, we got Collins, Bobby Portis, a little bit rich, and he's gonna have to deal with Jokic. I'll pass. Hayward, we spoke about Green, 6'7", good. Draymond is at a decent price. This is his usual price. Draymond just doesn't score. So I like Draymond better on Fanduel or Superdraft, where you get the extra points for blocks and steals. But at this price, $6,700, I'd rather play Barnes. Aaron Gordon, we spoke about Kuzma. Actually, I would rather play Jaren Jackson Jr. He's in play, $6,300. You compare him with Morant. Wendell Carter's prices drop. It's a good price, but I don't know if I'm touching Orlando. Listen, if you want to live on the edge, you can play Wendell Carter Jr. He is a good play. I'm just scared to touch Orlando. Keldon Johnson. He's a pass. If you don't know why Keldon Johnson is a pass, you shouldn't be playing DFS. Bogdanovich. I'm not playing Bogdanovich. Carmelo. Not playing Carmelo with everybody healthy. 21, 26, 16, and 20 fantasy points. That's not going to get anything done in an 11-game slate. PJ Washington, he should be in the G League. Everybody else is deep dumpster diving. Thaddeus Young has come back to earth, but Pirtle is back, so he's not needed. Look, I know this video is a little bit long. I apologize, but I'm really trying to make sure that we understand what's happening when we look at a slate. We understand how to break it down. Listen, if you're new, subscribe, thumbs up, let YouTube know you appreciate it. I'm going to continue with center. Jokic is at an amazing price, 11.5, 700 points cheaper than Giannis. Jokic is a lock for me at that price. We went through Davis, went through Randall. Cat is at an amazing price also. Now, if you get some good value, You can play two centers. Look what this is where the meat is at. Cat, Valanciunas, Gobert. These are the players you want to play. I target centers and big men because guess what? They're gonna fall in the rebounds. They're gonna fall in the blocks. They're gonna fall in the steals because they're right near the rim. Listen, there's levels to this. Once we get value, I'll usually do a double center. Cat 95, he's a good play. Valanciunas 8900. Going against Gobert, that doesn't matter. Valanciunas is gonna still eat. He spoke about Sabonis. Vucevic, not for me. Third option at 8800. I'm good. Gobert, there's an amazing price against the Pelicans. 8200. This is a lot. This is another lot. 8200 against the Pelicans. We got Gobert, we got Jokic, we got Giddey, we got Edwards. Capella, 7500. He's been playing really well. This is a good price. Ayton's at a good price also against the Knicks. I would pair Ayton with Chris Paul. You could even play all three of them, get it cheap. I'll play Ayton, Booker, and Paul, get it cheap. We went through Collins, Portis, Green, Bamba, amazing stat stuffer, amazing fantasy player. I don't trust Orlando. Not doing it. Harrell, 6,300, is an okay play. Gafford is healthy. Nurkic, don't like his minutes, 6,200. He's a third-tier player, but the minutes, not for me. I'm not going to risk it. I'd rather play Rich Holmes at 6,200 than Nurkic, because at least he'll play all the minutes he can handle against AD. Turner, 6,000, good play. Very good play. Can give you an amazing play or a bad game. So you got to take risks when you play Turner. Turner's only a GBP play. Never played Turner in cash. He will give you 50 fantasy points or 9 fantasy points. Pirtle is a better play than Turner at 5,700 if he's back to his full minutes because he's unreliable. Wendell Carter, spoke about him. PJ Washington, G League. Adams at 4,400, not for me. Nerlens Noel. If Mitchell Robinson and Todd Gibson are out, they will need Noel against Ayton. But Noel goes to the locker room every other play. Play him at your own risk. Gafford, haven't been on him. 20 fantasy points isn't going to get you nowhere. Achua starting. Birch off the bench. I don't like that. Whiteside off the bench. You're going to have to find value. You're not going to find it here. Boucher. If you play Boucher, you're a damn fool. The rest of it is deep dumpster diving. 4,000 left. We can't really get too crazy. We will do... We'll do Rose at 6,000. You got Rose, Edwards, Giddey. We got Jokic and Gobert, and it leaves us with $3,400, $3,433. However, we got value coming. You know we get value. If I don't get any value, then I'll swap out Gobert. We don't get any value. I'll swap out Gobert at 82 and play. I do like Scotty Barnes. I'll play Jaren Jackson Jr. $6,300. Game should be very competitive. And y'all stick to this just to be safe. So this will be my starting five. Rozier, Edwards, Giddey, Jaren Jackson, or Jokic. Jaren Jackson, you could swap him with anybody that you feel comfortable with. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Rose. You can swap them whoever you trust. But my locks are Jokic and Edwards. Let's move on to Fanduel. Alright, so we went through my whole player pool. Everyone I touched is a player pool, so we know where we're going. Once again, if you're new here, we break down NBA slates. Subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I drop a video, and thumbs up the video because that helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Morant at $9,000 is a must play. Curry, 10K, 10.5 against Portland. LeBron is at 10. LeBron is too cheap. That's what we're going to do. We're going to play Morant. We're going to pick up Edwards. I'm going to pick up Braun. Rich Holmes is 67. Scotty Barnes. Wyatt Vanderbilt, $6,000. Wendell Carter looks good. Not playing him. Melo, Larry Nance, Baisley, Bogdanovich, Jay Crowder, Eubanks. Okay. It's not nothing down there. Let's go back up. It's going to have to be Bobby Portis or Scotty Barnes. How much is Al Horford? 74. Let's bring it back with Rich Holmes. These are for what, 5,300. When I say bring it back, you got LeBron on the Lakers. You bring it back with Rich Holmes. So when I say bring it back, that means you play one of your players. You play an opposite player from another other team. Jacob Poeltl. He also had a good price. Mo Bamba, 6,800. Man, he's so scary to play. What is this? 5,300 left. Alright, I got Valanciunas. He's at a cheap price. So I got Valanciunas, Rich Holmes, LeBron, Anthony Edwards, and Morant. And I got 48.25 left to fill in the rest of my squad. And like I said, we're waiting for value, and we'll pluck in the rest of the holes. Let's get out of here. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate your time. And I really hope that you understand what I'm trying to do here. Alright, Superdraft. Let's get this done and we're out of here. Lonzo at a 1.15. Murray still at a 1.2. Edwards finally came down to 1.25. Guess they're starting to learn. Chris Paul, DeRozan is a 1.25. Levine is a 1.25. Russell, Lonzo, Barton, Schroeder, Giddey. We'll do Giddey at a 1.5. That's a good play. That's actually an amazing play. I'm looking for guys with a decent multiplier with a high volume. Miles Bridges is amazing for Superdraft. Trade LeBron at a 1.1. So far, Giannis. And at center, 1.1, 1.2. It's got to be Jokic. So this is going to be our super draft lineup. Murray at a 1.2, Edwards 1.25, Giddey 1.5. He's the lock of the day. Bridges 1.3, James at a 1.1, Giannis and Jokic at 1s. That's how many fantasy points they score, that they average more than players with multipliers. So that's it. That's going to be the end of the video. Like I said, I'm sorry the video is a little bit long, but on an 11-game slate, we need to understand why we're playing the players that we're playing. Alright? And why we don't play the players that we don't play. That's all it is. I've taken enough of your time. I appreciate each and every one of you. Any questions, any comments, throw it in the chat. Remember, this is a positive DFS space. Only positivity in the chat. Anything in private, you can DM me, Instagram, Twitter. I'm accessible, I'm available, and I'm always trying to help you guys win. If there are any of you that work a lot, you need help with your lineups, you need help with information close a lot, I do offer a Patreon which helps you with that, and everything's done for you. So you could hit me up about that if you like. The link will be in the description and in the chat. And it's been a pleasure. I appreciate you guys. Like I said earlier, I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you had a wonderful day, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm out of here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.